Wow.
At this point, I'm thinking I'm glad I played the pin. I'm glad that I got out of the situation. Desserts is my weak point.
This is a Luros chocolate entremet.
It looks incredible. To me, it looks like one of those big, nice handmade chocolates that you find in a fancy chocolate store.
Guys, step forward. You need to check out the detail.
So shiny. It looks beautiful. Really, really impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks fine, doesn't it? A little square block cake. The easier they look, the harder they'll be. I'll bet you there's layers and layers of something in that cake.
Big reveal. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh my God. There is heaps going on.
What are those balls?
1, 2,
It's like got
three,
vanilla something and it's like
four.
a vanilla.
On the base here, we have a chocolate pain de gêne, and that's topped with a crispy chocolate layer with roasted hazelnuts, crisp pearls, and palais filatine. All of the elements in here are suspended in a milk chocolate roasted mousse. We have spheres of vanilla chocolate crème. We have more of the milk chocolate mousse, and then we have a walnut and sesame Florentine. And then we repeat once again, all the layers again.
It's layers between layers between layers. This is going to be a Herculean task.
Then here we have some chocolate spheres, some Haas spheres, that are also filled with the white chocolate crème. And then we have a glaçage over the top, and we're finished off with the pink chocolate hearts.
Wow.
Grab a fork, grab a spoon, dig in. Yes, you're going to get a recipe,
Thank God.
but can I tell you, this is crucial, this bit.
This cake tastes incredible.
You in love?
Totally. It just all goes together so well. I have the first taste and I'm like, I want to keep eating. So I just keep eating. They keep talking and I just keep eating. It's great.
I eat a little bit of it and put it back down while Vern's just mooring away at his. I'm sitting back looking at how that has been built. We're going to have to replicate that. It's not going to be easy.
Once I've read the recipe, the first thing I do is start on my roasted chocolate mousse. Put the chocolate ingredients into the tray and put it in the oven.
Bake for an hour.
This is one of the hardest recipes I've ever attempted. The recipe to me looks more like a thesis than a novel recipe. There's not much time to complete all the layers and get it into the blast chiller and set in time. This is going to be a mammoth task. I bring my own glaze or my custard to 80 degrees Celsius.
So that's going through the sieve?
Yeah. Take it off the heat, because if I take it over, it'll be scrambled eggs.
Wow. Look at that. That's delicious.
How many holes am I filling?
I think you're filling all of them. No, you're
Rolling the stress. Frickin'.
No, you need to do 36 halves to create 18 full.
Calm down. Take a second.
This is one of the hardest recipes I've ever attempted. I'm stressing out. If I don't pace it up right now, it might be time to say goodbye.
Is that going in the fridge now?
Yeah.
I move on to my chocolate pain de gêne. I measure out my egg and my egg yolks, whisk them slightly together, and start spooning little amounts of egg mixture into the almond mixture.
Slowly, slowly, slowly.
I spread it out onto a tray, all to one width, and it's all coming together and looking really good.
Is that good?
That's good, Neha.
Beautiful.
Well done, sweetheart.
Yay.
Well done.
So you've just finished up the pain de gêne.
So put your timer on for 12 minutes.
Yeah. Get it into the oven.
Oh, it smells delicious, this mixture.
So the next thing I've got to get a hustle on with is the walnut and black sesame Florentine layer. It's quite important with this to roll it out really nice and thin between a couple of bits of baking paper.
You need 2 8-centimetre squares.
This is a really, really important element of the dessert. This Florentine has to be nice and crisp.
Enough, Vern. That's enough.
How long? 170 to 12 to 15 minutes until golden. So just watch it.
Come on, Vern, keep pushing, good. You're doing good.
This is all right down to the wire.
Come on, everyone, push.
I'm just grabbing bits of the cake, popping in the bottom. I'm going to pipe some chocolate in. This challenge is bigger than Ben-Hur. I've got these beautiful little balls that have come out of the freezer, so I'm getting them, shaping them, popping them in, dumping another layer on top, piping in chocolate. I've done the final layers in there. I've got to grab my little spatula, scrape it off around the side, make it all perfect, and then pop it into the blast chiller to really set.
You don't have long left. Are they sticking?
Yeah, good.
You need to faster. A lot faster.
Am I behind than the others?
Yes, you are. Come on, push.
Go, 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 next.
Vern's already got his cake into the blast chiller, and I'm thinking, hurry up, Neha. I'm desperately trying to put all the layers to this dessert as quickly as possible. My mousse has turned out to be slightly runny, but I need to move along.
Oh, it's too runny. I'm sure it's gonna set. Oh, it is like chocolate sauce.
I'm moving fast.
Quick.
It's furious. The clock is ticking. I'm reaching the final stages of assembly.
Done?
Yep.
Into the blast freezer?
Yep.
I get my cake into the blast chiller to set.
You're done, kiddo.
I'm praying to the blast chiller gods to blast chill it as quickly as possible.
Right, now here's the tricky bit.
Do you need a torch? Just go easy.
I try to unmold it. It's way too cold. Nothing is budging. I bring out the blowtorch and start heating the walls of the mold.
Stop. Gentle, gentle.
I'm absolutely petrified that I could destroy it.
Gentle.
The mold decides to come free, and it's set. Thank God.
Oh my God, I have got to get the cake out of the mould. And then all of a sudden, the mould just comes away. Ooh, ooh.
1 minute to go.
There's only 1 minute left. I get the glaze, start pouring it over, and it's working beautifully.
Now the glaze has got to go on.
Nolene, just pour.
I really feel the pressure.
Nolene, just pour the bowl on top.
This is do or die. It's pouring over really, really well.
Yes, yes, see, it's covering the sides.
30 seconds to go.
I don't know how I'm going to move this.
Oh my God.
My hands are shaking. This is absolutely intense.
Amazing. You got 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Step away from your benches. Well done, guys.
Gee, I'm mightily impressed. It looks shiny. It's well glazed. I think it looks brilliant.
Let's have a look inside.
Thanks, guys.
I think you've done an exceptional job. I think it's fantastic. The layers are really thin. Your spheres are well positioned. The pan de gene's great. Exceptional job.
Oh, thank you very much.
Looks amazing. So, Vern, do you want a slice?
Oh, I'd love to have another slice.
Overall, fantastic job. Just a couple of little things. A little bit too much mousse at the top, so those layers could have been a little bit more evenly distributed.
Yep.
And I'm not getting that full roasted milk chocolate flavour, but overall fantastic.
Thank you.
You know what's terrible about that extra mousse on the top? You get to eat it.
More of it.
You know, Vern, pastry has the habit of breaking hearts, but not yours and not today. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
We're cooking for 50 first dates tonight, and I'm really hoping that we're able to create just a beautiful, romantic meal for them.
First dates, there's always memory tied up around them. Especially if you're with the person later in life, you always remember that first meal you shared together. So there's a lot of pressure on us right now to cook this.
I want those carrots chopped in half, like...
Do you want me to portion them out or anything?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to lay them all out on this pan, though.
Do you want the orange ones or just the purple ones cut in half? Okay, no, that's fine.
Behind. Do you reckon pull them out, mate, or what? So at this point, I need to get that lamb out of the oven and sliced up, ready for service. If I slice that there and then bang it over, we'll be good to roll, mate, yeah?
Yeah, start cutting.
As I slice through it, I've got everything in order for the plating of it, and all we need to do now is plate up and get it out for these diners. What do you reckon?
That's undercooked.
This is undercooked. I want it medium to well done. These certainly don't look like that.
Fern, how you doing, Dal?
I don't know. Had enough of today. There's only 10 minutes left to go, but it has to go back in the oven.
Put these on. Where's the head on the other ones?
What's that? Behind. Sorry, Christina, behind. It'll come down to the wire. Fingers crossed, this is going to pan out for us.
Fern, why is the meat going back in the oven?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stones of the Yarra Valley and welcome to what we think is probably this year's largest ever first date dinner party. We can't guarantee that you'll find true love here. We hope that you'll find delicious food, though. Have a great time, share your views freely and frankly about the food, and rest assured that there's only one sure thing tonight, and that is that my date is worse looking than yours.
Right, you lot, oh my God! 100 people chatting away, love in their eyes. Guess what? Food's on, go.
Just behind. Do you reckon pull them out, mate, or what?
No, a little bit longer.
It needs more time. All I can do is wait. It's going to be down to the wire. We can still plate up a great dish here. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Fingers crossed.
How we going, guys?
Great.
I think our dishes are superb. I think they really look good, and I think these guys are going to like it too. So hopefully we have a nice, calm service.
It's all right. It's just the timer.
Okay, Vern, take it.
We need to plate these mains up. I'm a bit concerned as to whether it's going to be ready, but we are out of time. And it's looking good.
Looks beautiful, blue team.
I'm just really relieved.
Come on, faster, guys, you can do it.
There you go, 2 plates ready.
I'm absolutely blown away. Every single element that we're popping out just looks perfect.
Come on, guys, push it, faster.
I'm really happy with the team that I've got behind me.
Another 2 plates, boys.
We're going to win this for sure.
Today we're cooking for 50 first dates. The losing team is going to go into an elimination tomorrow.
So what we put together is a bit of a mezze platter for everybody, for you guys. So here we have spatchcock done 2 ways. We have the confit drumsticks.
I have noticed that the red team have put out this really impressive looking, quite a big portion plate. And, you know, I'm thinking maybe we haven't done enough food.
Tonight, this dish we've called Lover's Lamb. We have lamb rump with red wine jus.
It's a sharing place. Yeah, it's all about digging in, getting your hands dirty.
It's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah? I hope you don't want any of it.
Enjoy.
I'll put Vern in charge. The dish is beautiful and I know it tastes amazing. I just think we need more on it.
Good evening, boys.
Hello.
Tonight I have for you a shared plate. It's called Lover's Lamb. Got a lovely lamb rump, some Jerusalem artichoke puree, Jerusalem artichoke and chestnut crisps, and a red wine jus.
Right, get out of here.
Wow. Loads of really good flavours there. I love the freshness of the lemon in that gremolata across the top of the lamb is delicious. The red wine sauce and the whiteness of that artichoke puree is great.
A little bit tough, but can I say that is delicious. The flavour in there is yum. The sauce has been refined and corrected. It's got a lovely little shine to it.
It's really actually quite tasty. There's a really nice little parsnip on the top, and the lamb's cooked really nicely. It's yummy.
The big problem here I have is I could devour the rest of that very quickly. I'm starved.
And you've not got a big appetite, have you?
No. So, you know, you sit here sort of, what do we say next?
The only thing we talk about here is, where's the rest of my meal? Ah, here it comes.
Gentlemen, this evening we have a mezze platter style menu for you. Spatchcock done two ways. So we've confied the Maryland. With the breast, we've marinated that in some harissa with some pickled vegetables on the top. Over on this side, we have sardine, dusted in almond coating and breadcrumbs, pan-fried on a hummus bed with pippies and chorizo in a rich Italian broth with some lovely dipping bread. Right here we have our warmed olives with a roast eggplant dip.
Thank you, Kelty.
Very nice.
Please enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Delicious.
Let's taste the chicken. Yum, yum, yum. Bags of flavour.
That combination of the sweetness of the puree, the two different approaches to cooking the spatchcock, the confit and the grilling. When you think that they had, you know, I think the ingredients that we class as being dangerous, really impressive work.
So I am making a sort of smoky pork sauce for my oysters. So a bit inspired by Kilpatrick, but at the same time inspired by those beautiful Indian flavours that I love. So somewhere in between.
Today I'm going to be fusing Indian flavours with an Aussie classic. I want this to have that kind of meatiness and smokiness from the bacon and then load it up with those beautiful spices of Goa. Oysters Kilpatrick, quite easy to get it wrong. I feel they can be overcooked and a bit chewy, and just the flavourings really takes over that freshness of the oyster. So I want to not cook my oyster. I'm going to cook my dressing and place it on top and hopefully balance out those flavours.
Barbecue sauce, Indian style. So I've got all of my elements on the go, pretty well done. I've got the granita in the blast chiller, I've got the chicken fat rendering down there, I've got the chicken skin in the oven, and just need to get these oysters shucked.
I need to be really careful shucking these oysters. If there's any grit or shell in the oyster, then it's just not a pleasant thing to have in your mouth. So I need to make sure they're cleaned really nicely so that I can dress them.
Top's coming off, so don't worry too much, really.
Yep. Just don't want any shell possibility there.
Everyone's shucking now.
Good, Dan, you got your 6?
Yep.
Beautiful, good.
Oh, that's spicy. That's what I want.
Excellent. It's taking your breath away.
Everything's coming along quite well. In its essence, there's not a huge amount of work today, but there's a lot of work in balancing this dressing. The dressing's going to be a bit of a concoction of a smoky chili sort of flavours. Oh, yep. So I've got some finely chopped up chili because I wanted this thing to be screaming hot. I've got some beautiful spiced coconut vinegar. That's going to give me that spice and the acidity that I want. And I'm also adding some seaweed vinegar, which is a sweeter sort of vinegar that'll just help balance everything out. I've got my oysters on the hibachi. When they get to a point where they'll steam open, they'll pop, and then the smoke should go into the oyster. Hell yeah. I'm super chuffed with how it's coming together and how I've just formulated this on the fly. It's the most incredible feeling when you get pushed in a bit of pressure and what your brain can do.
As far as the spice oyster Kilpatrick goes, I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm shucking the oysters and I want to drain all of that brine so I can pour that into my dressing.
Oh my gosh, 4 minutes.
It's going to be a really great idea to reinforce those beautiful sea flavours.
I'm going to add the juice to some citrus.
Throughout the competition, I've really managed to grow quite a lot and really creating dishes that are a bit more experimental. I feel like fusing classical French techniques and flavours of India. For me, it really works, and I think it's become my niche. So I hope doing this with an Aussie classic works.
You right there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going good.
What you doing? Just
I've just cleaned my oysters. Just also washed it in a bit of acidity, just to tighten them back up.
Beautiful.
I've got my oysters, they're back into the shell, and I've poured my dressing into the cup. Now I'm just going to dress the oysters with some garnish. So I've got some really finely chopped coriander stems. They're tricky little things to balance because they're so salty. And the zest of the blood orange. Just want to make sure I've balanced it perfectly. It's just been something that's come up a few times. And something as simple as this, just the bloody oyster and the dressing, I think there's no room for error with it. Everything's going to be quite heavy, salty, savoury and acidic. That should just give it like a nice fresh bitterness for the whole dish. It'd be rude not to have a tester oyster or what, Julie?
Yeah, I reckon.
Ooh. Billy, what have you made us?
So the dressing is a chicken fat dressing, and then there's an apple, celery, granita, and some chicken skin crumbs.
Billy, super complex flavours going on there. The interesting thing is the oyster is obviously, well, it is the last thing that you get on your palate. You know, it starts out with a burst of chicken skin, which is delicious. It does provide a touch of bitterness, which I think that this style of oyster actually needs. Then you get a refreshing burst of the granita with the slightly sour but sweet apple and celery combination, really well done. And then it pops into like salt and oyster and umami, which I really, really enjoy.
The chicken fat does give you that beautiful mouth coating that I'm still experiencing now. So you kind of have that top and tail of the chicken skin at the beginning, the chicken fat at the end, and everything beautiful and delicate in between. It was always going to be about fine tuning, and you know, you're really showing why you're still here.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks, Billy. Next up, Daniel.
I just feel this like different sort of sensation today. Like I'm just so happy with how I've cooked.
You shaking hands?
I'm not nervous, Jock. What are you talking about?
Daniel, tell us what your oysters are, mate.
I made grilled smoky oysters with a smoky soy sauce and coconut vinaigrette.
All right. Shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
Spicy.
Yeah, I was...
What is it you say? She has a bit of poke.
Daniel, they are killer.
Yes! Yes!
Between the coconut vinegar and I guess that's the base, right? But then out of there comes all the other flavours. Then the first thing you notice is it's not a really wet oyster. And so the texture is different, but then you get a different flavour of the oyster, which marries in with the dressing you worked so hard. You know, that's an oyster dish that most chefs anywhere in the world would be super proud of.
Thank you, thanks very much.
The floral quality of that little bit of blood orange zest over the top. I know that Daniel on day one would never have done it, but I'm so pleased that Daniel, in this beautiful place, is inspired to do it here, because that was genius.
Andy, you're right. I'm back. Thank you. Thank you. But even that was tough for me.
Yeah.
Look, mate, the best thing about this is you're starting to think like a chef and you're now cooking like a chef.
You know, for you to waltz into that pantry and have one idea and you just park it and go,
yeah.
that looks epic, that looks epic, that looks interesting, that looks interesting. Taste, add, you're cooking like a chef now, mate. Well done, mate.
Thanks very much, guys.
Well done, Daniel.
Yes.
Sarah, what have you made us?
I have made a spiced Kilpatrick.
It's an interesting take on a Kilpatrick. Interesting in a couple of ways. One, it's got that sort of, you know, that Indian spice hit. The cumin, it does pop. It's prominent, but then, you know, it's all about the bacon, which Kilpatrick is. The thing I actually hate about Kilpatrick oysters are that they're usually cooked, like overcooked, and they're generally not very nice. So it was nice to have an oyster and still be able to taste the salinity of the oyster in along with all the work that you did in your dressing. I love the fact you put the oyster juice in that as well, because you can really taste it. It makes a huge difference.
When you take what you know from your travels, but you also fuse that with techniques that you've honed over years, there's a really happy meeting place there, and I think that that's what, you know, makes your food a joy to eat.
So I'm making a beautiful little day after recovery breakfast, which is poached eggs on waffles with spinach and dill hollandaise and some beautiful maple brushed bacon. A hollandaise still causes massive problems. So what we're going to do is a hollandaise sauce. So I've got a couple of shallots, some peppercorns and a bay leaf, and I bung that in a pot. The reason I use shallots, not onions, is because they're super sweet. And then, it doesn't have to be, but thereabouts, 2/3 wine and 1/3 vinegar. It just depends how acidic you like your food, all right? You could just go half-half. What you do, bring that to the boil and reduce it down. And it's going to take about 20 minutes or so, but what you're going to end up with is a lovely syrup, okay? I wasn't going to make you wait. That's what it looks like. And it's sort of jammy and interesting. So, now the application of heat. Boiling water, an essential part of this, okay? And take your reduction, and I'm going to use pretty much all of it, and leave the shallots in there. I like leaving the shallots in there because I know that what's going to happen as I'm cooking the sabayon, which is the egg yolks, there they go, in this little hollandaise, is that sweetness is going to carry through the sauce. So what I do is just take a little bit of the hot water, pop it into the bowl, and then it's got to be foamy and frothy before it goes anywhere near the pot, the boiling water. And you want enough water in there to create steam, but not necessarily to make contact with the bottom of the bowl. So, get some foam happening, and then put it over the heat, all right? So keep whisking. You can see it's lovely and foamy, even whisking. So the heat's penetrating, and what I'm looking at is still that I've got this lovely aeration, this almost mousse-like aeration. So the next process is the butter. And what I've done is I've clarified that in the microwave. So chopped the butter, chucked it in the microwave, melted it, and then let it settle. And then you just strain that off. Now for the interesting bit. Just trickle in the butter. And if you're really paranoid about the amount of fat, you know, if this is not a once a month thing for you and a once a week thing because you really love it, just add the tiniest amount of butter. Don't worry about it. Leave it lighter, leave it foamier, leave it, you know, so that it's more egg-driven than butter-driven. So, remember I had the shallots in here? I actually want to take the shallots out now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass it. Now, flavourings. Lots of chopped dill in it, because I like dill. Got a delicious anise flavour to it. So now I've got that lovely, foamy, slightly acidic hollandaise with that dill in. So we'll just keep that on the side. So I've got 500 milk and cream, half and half, and I've got about 250 grams of plain flour. Now, dry ingredients together on this recipe, tablespoonful of yeast. I've got a teaspoon of caster sugar, and I've got about half a teaspoonful of salt. Pop that in. And that's obviously the sugar's there to activate the yeast quickly. Now, Into the cream and milk, I'm going to put the 4 egg yolks, and the egg yolks are going to add some richness to the waffle. Then what we do is mix the wet, like a pancake mixture, with the dry. And always make that well in the centre, and then start drawing the flour in from the outside. You can start whisking, Elizabeth. Off you go. Show us your technique, baby. So what we're making essentially is a yeasty, aerated pancake, all right? So I want a smooth batter. There's so much whisking on this recipe. And then I've just melted, I want to say 80 grams, but it's 150 grams of butter. But essentially it just makes it lovely and rich. Yum. That'll do, I reckon. Thank you. I'd hate to use you just for hard labour, but that, in reality, is what I've done. Thank you, Elizabeth. Round of applause. All right. I'm going to put a bit in first. And I don't mind that I'm knocking a little bit of the air out, because then the second amount that I put in, I'm not going to use the whole lot. That's the bit that I fold in. And then we'd set that on the side, waffle iron, dribble it in with a ladle and close the lid. And they take about 3 minutes to cook. Because it was Love Week, I made some little heart-shaped ones, right? So out of the waffle maker, what you get is these nice little light, you know, slightly crispy around the outside, slightly chewy waffles. So they're delicious. So I'm just going to pop those in the oven just to reheat. And every time I open the oven, you guys smell bacon, don't you? Yeah. I'm going to show you what I got in there. It's really naughty, but what I've done, can you see all that stickiness? What I've done is I've taken some bacon and I've popped it in the oven, but I've brushed it with maple syrup and some smashed cumin seeds and some smashed fennel. So it's like the ultimate. This breakfast is probably the biggest badass breakfast I've ever made in my life, right? So we're just going to pop that on the side so that you don't have to do it, but it's just going to be an essential part of what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you how to poach an egg. There is one super secret to great poached eggs, and that's fresh eggs. If you don't have fresh eggs, you're going nowhere. Good splash of vinegar. Pinch of salt. There's all these wacky ways of finding out whether an egg is fresh or not. An egg should consist of 3 parts at the very least, and that nice, bright, tight yolk. And the first white, it's like jelly, and that should be clearly tight and different from that second white, which is quite watery. And because the eggshell is porous, as the egg gets older, what will happen is it takes on moisture and starts to break down the egg white, okay? So fresh eggs, key. Pretty much the only secret. The other one, make sure the water is boiling and rolling. And you break the egg where the water is boiling. And what will happen in theory is that the egg rolls and moves away from where the water's boiling. And if it doesn't straight away, you've got to be careful, just move the water, not the egg, but move the water and see if you can get it just to flip over. Because if it flips over, it'll roll itself in the egg white. And don't be scared. You can just keep popping them in. Right, let's cook some spinach. Key is quite a hot pan, and you don't have to boil spinach. This is the best way to cook spinach to keep the flavour in. But it's about wilting it and cooking it very, very fast. Well, let's put a healthy amount of spinach in there. Because there's lots of water in spinach, right? Put your fork in. Pinch of salt. A little bit of pepper. And nutmeg's a bit old-fashioned these days, but it really, it's a forgotten spice at the moment, and it tastes great. And then that garlic acts as a very light sort of scent. So this spinach is wilting beautifully. I can smell the garlic and the nutmeg. And now we're going to pop these eggs out and have a look at them. We've got a little plate. See these? They look all right, don't they? And if you're not sure, that's normally about 3 minutes. I find if they support themselves, you know, so they hold nice and tight, they're good. Bit of pepper, bit of salt. Spinach into here. The reason that spinach goes into there, obviously, is because there's a lot of water in spinach, so we need to press that out. We're pretty much going to plate up now. So, we'll put our waffle. Gee, I love spinach. Love spinach. A couple of eggs. Oh, God. Bad gowie. I could have muesli tomorrow, couldn't I? So all we've got to do now is pop on that beautiful dill. There you go, poached eggs with dill hollandaise. Right, volunteers to taste? You too? Yeah, come on. Right, grab, let's go. Ladies first, not when it comes to eggs and hollandaise. It's free for all, go.
All right.
Yeah, let's break an egg. Yum. Yum.
Oh, yum.
And you just got to tell me what you like, what you taste. A little bit of spinach.
Oh, the dill's perfect.
What do you think?
I
Do you
just
like
love it so sweet, and I love the hollandaise. It really complements the
Yeah,
whole
like the dill with the hollandaise.
love it.
Nice and creamy, it's light, a little bit
It goes
acidic.
well with everything.
Beautiful, good stuff.
Thank you.
I love it
Thanks,
too.
Gary. Thanks.
Thank you.
So this is cream of tartar. What it's actually going to do is give us really silky, smooth, soft egg whites.
Nice.
Okay, now we're going to start mixing. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar in at the start, just when we're really soft. And then as it increases, I'm going to gradually add the remainder of the sugar.
Yep.
What I've got here is just some green colour. We're
Yep.
wanting this to have a beautiful contrast when we cut it.
Cool.
So just 2 drops in. So I'm just going to add the remaining sugar. We've just got to give that a chance to dissolve that sugar before we take it off the machine.
Done. All right.
And what I've done here is I've taken some whole pistachios and ground them in the food processor, icing sugar, and just a little bit of plain flour. Okay, so this is beautiful and creamy, exactly what we're looking for. We're going to fold the two together.
You know, I can do something for you if you
Can
like.
you?
Yeah. Do you want me to finish that? Why not?
Great. So we're wanting to just gently fold that through so we maintain as much air as we can.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Now, do I?
Put it into the
whole lot?
Flexi-Pat. Yep.
Wonderful. Now, that then goes into an oven.
That goes into the oven,
What temperature?
170,
Yep.
and for about 15 to 18 minutes.
How about I pop that in? Okay. So 170 degrees, and then voila.
Already done. Yeah, so this is one we've already baked.
And you've just trimmed the edges. Looks great. What's next?
Get the crispy base going.
Okay.
So I've got some couverture chocolate here.
Can you explain to everyone what couverture chocolate is?
Couverture chocolate legally has to have a minimum of 31% cocoa butter. So I'm just going to microwave this.
Yep.
So when we're heating, just ensure that we're not going to overheat it, it's not going to burn.
All right.
Okay, I've got the chocolate here. So I'm just going to stir it till we melt those buttons, and then we'll add in all the other ingredients. Cocoa nibs,
Yum.
which is the interior of the cocoa bean, and some almonds.
Yep.
Okay, I've got here some almond praline paste. So this has roasted almonds with caramel ground to a paste.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna mix that together. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into the frames. So we work with these frames in the kitchen because it enables me to have everything at exact levels.
Okay.
Spread that out.
Sorry, I've taken over.
You've done that before. No, that's good. Perfect, George. Thank you. Okay, so this is dacquoise. Just press that in while the crispy base is still wet. And what I'm going to do now is spread some raspberry jam. Okay, so we're just going to put a fairly thin layer on. Just breaks up the richness of the chocolate.
Yum, yum, yum. Great combination of flavours.
Okay, so I'm just putting those frames on so I can see that now I'm nice and level. We join those frames with a little dot of chocolate in each corner.
Love it. I'm gluing things with chocolate.
So chocolate crema, which we're going to go on to now, is basically an anglaise, which is a light custard, and then we're going to strain that over some chocolate, and the chocolate's going to actually set the custard to a like fudge-like consistency, which is really easy to cut. So I've got two different couvertures we're going to add to the crema, and this is a dark 60% couverture. It's very nice. And then I've got a milk couverture, which is a blended beans.
Yep, it's good, yep.
Good. Okay, so we always strain an anglaise, and that's because we always end up with a tiny bit of cooked egg on the bottom of the pot, and we don't want that to go through to the custard.
Mix.
Yes.
Oh, there's a certain pleasure in mixing custard
Therapeutic, isn't it?
into chocolate. Oh. Just chat amongst yourselves. Man.
I'm going to pour it straight in, and then we're done. Ready for the decorations. I'm just going to leave that in the fridge to set, probably about 4 hours in the fridge, and then we're ready to cut it and decorate it.
Right, what are we doing next?
Okay, next we're going to temper some chocolate.
Yep.
So just pour out the required amount of chocolate. We're going to microwave that until we've got 50% melted, 50% solid chocolate. So we temper to give us a beautiful gloss, shine, snap and finish, and beautiful mouthfeel when we actually eat the chocolate. So now what we need to do is give it movement. Okay, that's good. Beautiful work.
Done. All right, what are we doing next?
Okay, so what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to make some bark. So just on some baking paper, and I've cut 2 sheets identical in size. Put the other sheet on top. And we're just going to roll it up. Pop that in the fridge.
Cool.
And that's our bark. Done.
Awesome.
What we're going to do with the dark chocolate here is I'm going to make some leaves. So what I've done is I've picked some leaves and I'm going to brush some chocolate onto them, and it brings out the texture. So just a thin coat.
Awesome.
Let that set, do another layer on top. And here's one that I've prepared earlier.
Ah.
So just peel the leaf off, and then we get the beautiful texture there of the leaf.
Wow, that is cool.
Now, just quickly, I've coloured some white chocolate with a red powder. I'm going to make a piping bag. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with this.
Ah, yeah.
We start with a baking paper triangle, and we roll it into a witch's hat, basically. So roll it up. Make sure there's a closed point at the end, and then we fold it in. So what I've done here is just some love hearts to use as a template.
Ah.
We're going to make some love heart mushrooms and just some round ones. So I'm just going to put the chocolate in the bag. With the piping bag, only ever fill it halfway. Fold the top in.
Yep.
Just going to cut tip off. I've just got an acetate sheet on top here.
Yep.
We're just going to go around. So pipe your outline first, then just basically fill it in. Okay, so I've got some here.
You got some there, great.
what I've done. Okay, so then we just pipe some white chocolate, just different size dots on. Okay, what we're going to do is make the mushroom stems.
Okay.
Just need a little bit of water.
All right, so you need some water?
Yep, just a little bit of water. I'm going to put some white chocolate. Pop it in there. Just add a couple of drops at a time. So you can see how
it starts to thicken.
Yep. Piping tube, so that's just a 1 centimetre piping tube in there. So these are going to be our mushroom stems. So they're all awkward, all different sizes. It's quite good if some are on an angle.
Cool.
When they set, we're ready to join them. Then we're just going to stick those with a tiny bit of chocolate. And that'll just hold just a little bit on here. And it's nice as well if we angle those a little bit. There we go.
They look cute, don't they? All right.
Now, this is a great, really easy way to finish off the cake. Brush chocolate on top. We want a really thin layer, but I want to create a lot of texture so it looks like the ground.
Beautiful.
So quite rough. And just building that up. Okay, so we've got a really nice texture there.
Cool.
What I'm going to do now is add a little bit of bling to the cake.
Oh, of course.
So a little bit of edible gold.
Is that my makeup brush?
Just on top.
Love that. Edible gold.
Really lifts that chocolate, all that texture.
Cool.
I'm going to stick our mushrooms on first. Then you can use chocolate as a glue. Okay, we're just going to put a little leaf there. Then these are just roasted chopped nuts with a little bit of green metallic. Green metallic you can get from cake decorating shops, that sort of thing. We've got our bark. So you don't need much. Then we've got some raspberries. And I've got some hazelnuts.
Kirsten Tibbles, you are a pastry legend. Thank you so much. Big
Thank
round of
you.
applause. Right, who wants to taste? 1, 2, 3. Did you hear that chocolate snap?
Yeah. Beautiful. Amazing.
Oh, jeez. All right, dig in, dig in. Keep going.
Bon appetit.
Are you excited? Look at the smile on your face.
Shaking.
Oh, gosh.
Crunchy, smooth, chocolatey.
Rich, beautiful.
Exquisite.
Yeah, beautiful.
Perfect.
And the chocolate's just beautiful and smooth.
It's one of the best things I've ever tasted.
Oh, wonderful.
My white chocolate cookie dough pot.
Oh, yum.
Yum. My milk chocolate brownie. My dark chocolate and olive oil mousse.
Oh, yum. Oh.
Last but not least, a very special one for you. Now that's a ruby chocolate cheesecake.
It's the ruby chocolate. Oh, the new chocolate.
I have heard all about ruby chocolate. I'm desperate to try this ruby chocolate, and the girls are actually going to get to cook with it today. Very jealous.
This is the first new type of chocolate to come for 82 years. It has a fruity, berry-like flavour, but there are no berries in it, there's no colouring in it. The colour and the flavour are all down to the beans themselves. And today is a very special day because although Ruby Chocolate's had lots of coverage in the press, only a handful of the top chocolatiers have actually got to cook with it. You are going to join that very small but very illustrious group.
That's so cool. That's absolutely incredible. I've only just started hearing about this Ruby chocolate, so to be able to actually try this today and cook with it is just amazing.
It's Nigella's chocolate feast. Nigella, which one should they start with first?
I think start here.
Yep.
With the white chocolate cookie dough pot.
Okay.
Is that salt on top?
Yep.
I taste the white chocolate cookie dough pot, and the first thing I notice is that it's really moist.
That's delicious.
Really nice. My children like cookies that are so squidgy, they don't hold their shape anymore, so I do it in a ramekin. So it has to be like the beginnings of a cookie, so it's biscuity around the edge and just really squidgy in the middle.
Next one, Nigella, what do we got here?
We have got just an utterly gorgeous little chocolate brownie.
Oh, yum. It's fudgy. When I bite into the brownie, there's a crunch of the walnuts, the fudginess of the chocolate. You get a little bit of crisp from the outside. It's beautiful.
Some people like a cakey brownie, some people like a fudgy brownie. I don't see the point in a cakey brownie. I want a fudgy brownie. Yeah. But it does need to start drying out on the top.
All right. Next.
I can inhale these. Dark chocolate olive oil mousse. You will think in your head that you're making a chocolate mousse. It doesn't have the same texture. It's much softer and it's silkier, and that's the olive oil in it.
The olive oil chocolate mousse is something I've not had before. It's just the mouthfeel, it's so smooth and it's very indulgent too. I think this dish, it's all about getting the texture right today.
That looks beautiful.
It does.
Out of the 4 dishes, the cheesecake to me is the one thing that I desperately would love to try.
Oh my God. Oh. Wow. It's just so bright. Like it tastes floral, yeah, it tastes berry. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It's very bright and berried.
Perfect texture. It's like you had berries and you took away the tartness and you just had that sweetness. It's beautiful.
The first dish I'm going to start on is the Ruby chocolate cheesecake.
Go, Chloe!
The first thing I need to do is melt the ruby chocolate over a stove.
Oh, look at that pink colour.
Yeah, that's just beautiful.
While the chocolate's melting, I then move on to smashing up the biscuits for the biscuit base.
Chloe, watch the bag.
Yeah. I'm a perfectionist. I want to nail all 4 dishes, so I'm going to follow that recipe and replicate exactly what Nigella put up.
She's ticking off as she does it, isn't she?
Just check the stove top.
Why? I turned it off.
Oh, you turned it off. Sorry.
It's the recipe.
She's got this. Yeah.
Come on, girls.
A good cheesecake is all about proportion. Every mouthful of cheesecake when I tasted Nigella's was balanced off with that really fine ginger crumb at the end. I know that the amount of crumb that I put into the dish will be really important. 1, 2, 3. The recipe says 3 to 4 tablespoons. I follow it exactly and I make sure I press it down really well so that it's a really thin biscuit base, just like a Nigella's.
Looks really good, Jenny.
Thank you. There's a 33% chance I'm going home today, but I never ever give up. The competition means the world to me. I'm just gonna give it everything I've got.
I'm so fortunate to be one of few people to work with an ingredient that's new and it's rare.
Well done, Chloe.
I'm trying my best because I really want to do the ruby chocolate cheesecake justice.
Looks fantastic, Chloe.
Yes, it looks wonderful. Quickly. I start to fold my chocolate with the cream mixture. This pie is crucial because you need to incorporate all the chocolate with the cream mixture, but you don't want to overwork it because you'll change the texture of the cream cheese. Fold in gently, Jenny, gently. Nigella's was really nice and smooth, so I've got to be careful.
Are we there? That's good?
That's good.
We're working with the rarest chocolate in the world. In every feast, there's always a centerpiece. And for me, I feel like the cheesecake is that. So I want to get it spot on for Nigella.
Good job, Jenny. That looks so nice.
Listen up, Adele, Chloe, Jenny. Time is not your friend. Hurry up, 1 hour to go. Come on, come on.
Nigella's brownies were exactly how I love them. Just so fudgy, like crispy top, and yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Nice work. That looks beautiful, Chloe.
I'm happy with the brownie mixture. The texture is quite dense, but silky smooth. I came here to change my life, and I desperately want to stay in this competition. I've sacrificed time spent with my children. How fun is this? Great. You know, the time that I'm away from them is time that I'll never get back. Can I pack you in my suitcase? No! I want to make it worth it. I don't want to fail. I'm thinking about my kids and my husband, and today I'm just going to cook for them. 2 down and 2 to go. I'm just onto my mousse.
Good job, Chloe.
Once the dark chocolate's melted, the next thing I need to do is add the extra virgin olive oil to the chocolate and stir until fully incorporated.
Which strength olive oil is? Oh, it's the full strength one, the really peppery one. It's got the three drops.
The extra virgin olive oil adds just a little touch of spice to the mousse, and it's just wonderful.
That looks lovely.
Thank you. Having Nigella on my bench is so surreal. Let's hope I do you proud today.
It's yourself you have to do proud, not me.
I don't think there's a person out there that doesn't love her.
Remember that your whites are on, you don't want them to get dry.
I know one of the biggest pressure points of this mousse is getting the smooth consistency and mouthfeel.
That looks so good, Chloe. You're doing great.
That looks great, Chloe.
It's important not to over-whip the egg whites, otherwise it will go lumpy.
I want this so badly, to be in the competition, to keep going further, you know, to go on to win this. I know I can do it.
You've got it, Jen.
I'm just going to give it everything I've got.
Looking great, Jenny. Come on.
Yeah, Jenny! Go, Jenny, go!
Oh, looks beautiful, Adele.
Looks good, Adele.
Looks great.
I'm pretty happy with the brownies. Now what I need to do is finish this dark chocolate olive oil mousse.
Adele, you've caught up so well.
I don't even know I was behind. Damn.
Adele's mousse is looking so luscious, so perfect, and it's just got that right consistency.
Looks good, Adele. So glossy.
I just want to lick it.
I know this is a pressure test, but I'm having the time of my life. It just proves that cooking is exactly what I'm meant to be doing.
Go, Adele.
Your cookie dough pots take 10 minutes in the oven, and you've got 13 minutes to go. You need to start creaming your butter and your sugar.
I've done my brownies, my cheesecake, and my mousse, and I've got to really get through this and get my chocolate chip cookie dough pot on the go. I have one dish to do, the white chocolate cookie dough pot. Nigella's was beautiful and decadent. There's notes of savoury, and I think that comes from the sea salt.
Go, Chloe. Keep going.
I place butter and sugar into the stand mixer bowl, and I want to get that mixture very light and creamy. Once the dough is completed and come together, I add the white chocolate chips.
Go, Chloe. Get in the oven.
Place it straight into the oven.
Good job, Chloe.
I want a nice biscuit consistency on the outside and the top, and nice and gooey on the inside.
4 minutes, come on!
Nice one, Chloe, looking good.
Beautiful.
I'm really happy with the result. It looks very much like Nigella's.
Come on, Adele, run!
You got this, Adele. Come on.
That's it. Come on.
I go to demold my cheesecake. It doesn't look perfect, but it's holding together.
You're almost there, Adele.
She's getting flustered now.
Don't panic.
Brownies, brownie.
Tip it upside down, tap it out.
I think it's down.
Get it on the plate, that's done.
I pour the cookie dough pot straight out of the oven and straight onto the bench, hoping that I've done enough.
Firstly, appearance. Nigella, what do you think?
I think the ruby chocolate cheesecake looks good, and so does the dark chocolate olive oil mousse. The brownies look good, and look, the white chocolate cookie dough pot looks baked.
Right, let's plate them up.
I tell you what, the crumb feels nice on the cheesecake.
Looks nice and thin too.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing little baby quenelles.
Nothing wrong with a gooey brownie, let's be honest.
No, everything right about a gooey brownie.
All right, Nigella, what do you think?
Well, I have to say, I thought the cheesecake was very good. I thought the texture was good. I thought the base and sides were really good, smooth, thin. I'd be delighted if I'd made that.
The cheesecake is absolutely exemplary.
Yeah.
The brownie's got a lovely, nice kind of crunchy, crisp crust. It's fudgy without being undercooked.
And I think the chocolate mousse has got a delicious texture. It's really light, really quite smooth. And I think the cookie dough, it's a nice recipe. It's supposed to be a little gooey.
Gooey is good.
And gooey's good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. We're mad for cookie dough in my house. Way better than the bloody cookie, I think.